everyone, we are back with our phase 3 of stranger danger drills. Now we have Murphy in a stationary command on place, and we're going to run the same scenario where a stranger approaches. And what we're teaching him here is that even if he's in an obedience command, if he is uncomfortable, he can move away. He cannot move forward towards the person, but he is allowed to break the command to move away and create space, just like we did without the place bed. We have our stranger approaching. And then we're going to wait. If he looks uncomfortable, we might again need to prompt him to move away. So Callie just called him off of the bed, teaching him that he can create space. And again, that stops the stranger and pushes him backwards. We're going to run repetitions of this again so that he gets comfortable to the point where he starts to move on his own. So right when he's kind of looking and getting a little bit unsure, that's when we're prompting him to come off the bed. And right now, again, we're using verbal. He also is on e-collar. He's been trained on e-collar already. So we're going to start using some of that e-collar and just little taps on it to kind of prompt him to move. Sometimes the dogs kind of get stuck where they're a little unsure, but they don't know what to do. So sometimes just that little prompt with the e-collar can help get them unstuck and get them to do like right there. Just use a little bit of e-collar pressure, got him to move, and as soon as he started that initial movement, we are praising him and encouraging him to continue moving off. If you wait and expect them to complete the full movement on their own without any sort of feedback, sometimes again they're unsure about what they're supposed to do. So praising them as soon as they start to make that movement. So that was a good repetition as well. He got, again, a little bit stuck. He thought he needed to go, but he wasn't quite sure and paused for a second. So that's where Callie added in some e-collar pressure to kind of help him and encourage him off. So depending on how much obedience training you've done before, this sometimes is a little bit difficult for dogs because usually we've drilled into them that if they're in a stationary command, they need to hold that command until we release them. So this is something that we add on after they already have a good foundation of the obedience command. That this is kind of the one case where they're allowed to break that command. If they're unsure, they can break it. The reason why we do this is we find that oftentimes if we force a dog to continue to hold still in one spot, even as they're getting uncomfortable, that can actually create more reactivity because we're taking away their flight option and they're going more into fight, where they feel like they need to react and bark and act scared to scare away whatever's making them nervous, where if we just allow them to create space on their own, they don't go into that reactive behavior because they know they have another option. And again, Murphy's familiar with our stranger. It's one of our other trainers. We're starting easy with him, just patterning this behavior. Once he has this down super well, we will introduce new people that he hasn't met before, real strangers to him, and practice it again also. So he's a little bit more comfortable with this person. So again, your dog may be at different levels where being on the other side of the yard already is too close and they want to move away. Some dogs, depending on their level of nervousness, might allow the person all the way up to the place bed before they get uncomfortable. It's all based off of your dog, so watch their body language. You're looking for any sort of changes that indicate that they're getting a little bit unsure by the person approaching. And so right there, Murphy did perfect. He was okay at first and he got a little unsure and he turned and started the movement all on his own. That's what we want to see. And once you're seeing that from your dog, again, just getting in a lot of repetitions of them practicing this over and over and over again, practicing this in different environments, outside, inside. You can practice it with your dog in a down stay or a sit stay. We like to use place to begin with because there's actual physical boundary. It's a little bit easier for the dog to learn, but using this with any sort of stays is also good. So that way, if you're out on a walk and you stop to talk to somebody and have your dog in a down stay, if somebody comes up behind and approaches, the dog knows that they can move away and move out of that downstay. Good job. And once your dog's really good with this and has a good understanding, we can also start pairing this with our Go Say Hi command, which we have another video on. That is a command where we start to encourage nervous or fearful dogs to actually go up and greet a person in a way that is less intimidating, that they have control over. They get to pick whether they interact or not, and our stranger who's helping us also is doing so in a very calm way where they're not putting too much pressure on the dog. So once we're kind of to a good spot where your dog's feeling comfortable, they know they can move away, they're comfortable with people coming close, we can start layering in the go say hi command as well to start encourage some of those positive interactions between our dog and new people. That way they can start to feel more comfortable and expand their social circle, and start to accept new people into their life.